Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Tuesday. So today is Tuesday, August the 19th, 2025, and today I'm going to be doing a cute fun fold. It's a simple fun fold, but it's a little bit unique. I'm going to be using some new dies that are online exclusives, and these are called Fright Night. I'm not going to be making a Halloween card, but when I saw these dies, I was like, oh, I love this die. And so the one I'm going to be using out of the set is, hold on, I pick back? Yes, is these. Okay, so they nest. One's just a little bit smaller than the other one. There's actually a lot of Halloween dies in this set. The stamp set is definitely Halloween. This, I don't really buy a lot of Halloween products, but I thought this was really useful for anything. Also like these little, I don't know what they are, just little crosses, little check marks. So if you want to make a Halloween card, you could, but if you don't want to use it that way, you could use it just for regular stamping. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm also going to be using Thankful Garden as the focal point of the card. This is the bundle, Thankful Garden. Okay, so I'm going to be using this flower right here, and then the die that cuts that out. I'm also going to be using Pressed Flowers Embossing Folder. This, I don't know if it's still available. This is not a 3D folder. This is just a regular embossing folder, and I'm going to be just using a small piece of cardstock to run that through. Okay, Country Woods is going to also be used, and also the 6x6 paper pack in the new InColors. So this is on sale this month. It's 15% off all the new InColor products. So that includes the DSP, the marker, the blends, the stamp pads, the Stampin' Right markers, the re-inkers, everything 2025, 27 in color. So today I'm going to be using Cloud Cover, and I'm going to be using some blends. So let's get started today making this really cute card. Okay, put the camera down and less chatting, more stamping. Okay, tell you what, I have to work on my tripod. It's really giving me fits lately. Well, that's pretty good actually. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to stamp that flower in Memento Black, just white cardstock. I'm going to turn up this way so I can see how much it's inked up. On these bigger stamps, it's kind of nice to do it this way. Okay, stamp this. Okay, I love that flower. All right, close that for now. I'm going to use my blends. I'm just going to use two different colors, Timid Tiger and Soft Sea Foam. I'm going to use these two colors. I'm just going to color this in. I'm going to start with my dark blend. Color the inside first. And I'm going to use, if you want to zoom in, you can, for this part. I just love the blends so much. Color this also. I'm going to color both flowers the same color. I thought this kind of went really nicely with Cloud Cover. Okay. So just take the lead from your stamp. When you see these little lines like that, that gives you a good indication where it could be darker. Okay, let that go a little bit. Then I'm going to use the dark Soft Sea Foam. I'm going to do the leaves. And I didn't want to go anything too dark on this green, especially since I'm using Cloud Cover as my cardstock base. Because the problem is if you go with a really dark color, it just takes over, and it just, to me, it just kind of drowns out the Cloud Cover. Okay, I'm going to take my light Timid Tiger. And now I'm just going to blend these. This is the light, right? Yeah. These are really juicy. They're, you know, pretty new, so they're pretty juicy. You want to pull that color, the dark, into the light. You don't have to go all the way to the edge because these do bleed a little bit as you're going. And sometimes I like to leave just a little bit of white towards the edge. Gosh, that color is so pretty. Really pretty. I love Timid Tiger. At first I thought, ooh, do we need another orange? Because, you know, we have Pumpkin Pie, we have Calypso Coral, we have quite a few oranges, but this one has got a kind of a richness to it that I really like. So, and they're so easy to use, the blends. Really are. Okay. Now I'm going to use the light soft seafoam. I'm just going to finish up with this. Now, if you wanted to, you know, you could always do watercoloring with this, but if you're going to use watercolor of any kind, water-based something, you need to do it in Stampin' Stays On, because if you do a memento with a water medium, you will get bleeding. See how this doesn't bleed at all? Okay, now I'm going to use my die. I have my little Pee-wee mini cut and emboss here, and I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this on here. It's nice and perfect size for the mini cut and emboss. And I'll just bring it up here. It's easier than stretching my arms down there. I have a little table here, but sometimes it's easier just to bring it up here. Okay, and it's nerve-wracking because when you lay this down, sometimes it moves. Oh, I think I did it. Okay, I'm going to run this through. Once you start, you're good. You don't have to worry about it moving anymore once you start. Okay. There we go. Oh, perfect. All right. There we go. We got that done. Okay, let's start working on our card. This is my cloud cover. It's 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, and I've scored it twice. I scored it at 5 1/2, and then from this end, I scored it 1 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to fold this and then fold this up like that. Make a nice crisp fold. So when you cut your cardstock this way, it's really good to do your scoring, mainly because you can get cracking in your cardstock because it's kind of against the bias. All right, I did use those 2 dies, and I cut this one out of Country Woods. So Country Woods is retiring. This is, I think, on the last chance list. And then this I cut, the bigger one I cut out of Timid Tiger. I'm just going to adhere these together. Maybe. There we go. Get my adhesive going. Okay, so I have that. All right. Then I have this little piece of cardstock, and this is the piece that I ran through Press Flowers. This is 4 by 4. Okay, and I'm going to adhere this right here. I cut that too big. I think I did. What was I thinking? Oh, well, I'll just tuck it under. That'll be good. I guess I was thinking it needed to be, actually, it could be smaller. Could have made it smaller, like that size, but that's okay. This will work. Okay, I'm going to adhere this with my adhesive because you need to be careful once you run that through the embossing folder. Sometimes if you're with your adhesive, because it's so sticky, it'll pull up. Okay, now I have 2 little pieces, and these are the pieces from the 6x6 assortment pack of InColor. Okay, so I just cut these 1 inch by 4, and I'm going to put one right here. I don't know which side I like. I actually have another card to show you when I'm done, so don't leave. It's another very similar card, but I did it a little bit differently. And then this piece, and put that down here, like that. Okay, now I have this piece. Okay, before I do this, I want to put a little hole in this because I'm going to run a piece of ribbon through it. So if you're like me and you have all these old hand punches, get one out. And just run a little hole through there. And I have a little piece of Timid Tiger ribbon. This is from the annual catalog. It's really super thin and nice. So I think this will work well. I think I'm going to go front to back. Because it's so thin, it runs through that little hole very easily. If it was thick, yeah, there might be an issue. Now, you want to be careful because I've been known to tear my cardstock by pulling on it too hard. So be careful when you pull it through, okay? So I'm going to pull this through a little bit gently to start with. There we go. There we go. Okay, use my snips. Where are my snips? Okay, hang on a second. Don't have my snips for some reason. Get a pair. And I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. It's a little bit long. Okay. Just love that ribbon. Wow, it comes in all the new InColors. Okay, so now I am going to adhere this, but I only want to adhere it to this flap right here, right? I don't want to adhere it to the whole card up here. I just want to adhere it right here. So I'm just going to use liquid glue. I'm just going to put liquid glue right there. Okay, I'm going to lay this down, kind of center it, and hold it for a second. Liquid glue works better for this technique because I am going to be pulling on it and I want to make sure that it doesn't come loose. Okay, now I have my image, so I can adhere this. And again, I don't want it to stick up here. I only want it to stick here and right here. So I need to kind of put my fingers right there and so I can see where not to glue. Okay. Good. Can always add more glue, but I can't take it away, right? Okay, have that. And I think this using this wood grain really makes this pop. I think it needed something dark to make the flower pop. All right. And then I could add a sentiment. There's lots of sentiments in the stamp set. One of them is you make a difference with love and thanks. Thankful for you, friend. Ooh, I love that one. I think I'm going to stamp that. Thankful for you, friend. Because that's something I would really use. Send that to somebody. Okay, so I'm going to use a piece of this. Oh, I know what I've wanted to do. There's something else I wanted to do with this while I have the black pad open. Isn't that a lovely sentiment? Okay, while I have this open, there are these little tiny stamps. And if you look at the stamp set, you're probably thinking, what are these little stamps? They are intended to stamp the inside of these flowers. And surprisingly enough, when you use them, I'll show you. It is so cute. Like the inside of the flower. I really like that little detail. Stampin' Up! Thinks of all these different details for us. Okay, so this one I'm going to just do a fishtail. Not too deep, just a easy fishtail. And I can add my sentiment anywhere I want. Ooh, I think I might add it right there. Don't want it to hang over the card too far. Okay. I got ink on my flower. I mean, glue on my flower. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Be more careful. Okay. Not smart to put your glue on while you got it leaning against your card. Okay, now I do have some of these. They're interesting. They're called muted palette dots. And they're item number 165155. And there are some of these cloud cover. And I'm thinking it needs some cloud cover. So I'm going to put a couple of these on here. I'm going to do a small one and a big one. And another small one. Right there. So I think that added something. These are 4mm and 6mm. There's just two sizes, but you do get 4 different colors. Mossy Meadow, Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, and Petal Pink. Super cute. Okay, now, how does the card open? So you can pull this, and the card opens like that. I'm going to probably put a white piece right here, but how cute is that? Also, in addition to that, I made this one. Okay, so this one I used Strawberry Slush, and I used Daffodil Delight. I did use a different stamp set. I used Mixed Florals, and I did use the Country Woods DSP, but I used a different piece. I did use the same, I went to the same pack of 6x6 paper, but I did pull up the other side on this one. And on this one, I glued it down, so it just opens like this. There's no pull. You know, if you pull this, you get the full card. With this one, you get the kind of the fun fold. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the cards today. My name's Trevis Bossler, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. And as I talked about on Friday, I had my 25th anniversary, Stampin' Up! Anniversary as a demonstrator coming up on Thursday. And so I do have these gifts to give away. Okay, I have Blooming Phrases photopolymer stamp set, and this is the, oh, it's getting ready to rain. Finally, we haven't had very much rain here in St. Louis lately, and I hear thunder. So this is a silicone, little, I call it a spatula. It's kind of for glue. And so this will be a free gift. I'm going to give away on September the 15th. And it will be anybody who places any order between August 15th and September 15th will be entered in the drawing, and you will receive this gift. So that is an appreciation for being a customer with me. So thank you so much, and I will see you on Friday. Bye.